Hello everyone, and welcome to the Instabug Bits. In this video, we will be talking about execution traces, their applications, and how you can utilize them. First, let's introduce you to execution traces. So Instabug is going to automatically capture several performance metrics out of the box on your mobile app, such as app launch time, client-side network monitoring, screen loading time, and UI hangs. But most likely, you will have some critical logics or key flows in your app that you will want to measure their performance and know if any flow is taking more time than expected to execute. And that is when execution traces will become helpful. Some examples for execution traces can be measuring the time taken to fetch data from local database or server, completing a payment, or maybe time taken to compress a file. So now let's see how you can leverage execution traces with Instabug. All you need to do is specify the block of code that is equivalent to the action or key flow that you want to monitor with start and end APIs, and Instabug is going to return its latency. You can also add up to 5 custom attributes per trace. This will help you know how is this logic or flow performing across different user segments. Custom attributes can be used in experiments, so you know how this key flow is performing across several builds in A/B testing, so you can make an informative decision on which build you will roll out on production. Now let's see a quick demo on execution traces. In your code, at the start of the desired logic that you want to monitor, you need to insert the execution trace start API. Then you can give it a name. At the point at which the logic is considered complete, insert the execution trace end API. This is the execution trace end API. Before ending the trace, you have the ability to add some attributes, like for example, adding experiments. So now we added the key as experiment and the value as group A. Now let's go to the dashboard and see how your trace data will be viewed. On the dashboard, you can navigate to the APM execution traces from the left navigation pane. You'll be able to see all your custom traces and get an overview of each one's performance by checking the 50th and 95th percentile latencies. Also, the count will give you an idea how many times this action or logic is being executed. You will also see an aptX score per trace that is calculated based on the thresholds that you set for each trace. We advise you to customize the thresholds per trace to have an accurate aptX representation. If a certain trace is not relevant to the end user experience, you can unmark it as a key metric so it wouldn't affect the overall app aptX score on the homepage. When you click on a trace, you will be able to see how well it has been performing over time by checking the graphs for the aptX score, the count, and the 50th percentile over time. You can also get the full picture by checking the distribution tab and see the latencies for all the traces and spot any outliers. Finally, you can see some patterns to know how this trace is performing across different users. Instabug by default will provide some attributes such as the app version, the device, and the OS version. You will see an aptX score for each one as well as the different latencies. In addition, of course, to the custom attributes that you collected through APIs, such as experiments. You can also use the filters to slice and dice the data and view performance for certain users. For example, you can filter by the latency, so you can know the outliers attributes and start debugging them. We hope this was useful. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next bit.